Welcome to the Leaders Insights podcast. Today's episode, Zero-Based Budgeting Revisited, What Still Works and What Doesn't. Zero-based budgeting sounds like something a consultant invented to bill more hours. Prove me wrong.
It's older than most consultants. Texas Instruments used it in the 1970s. The idea is brutally simple. Every budgeting cycle, every line item starts at zero and has to justify its existence from scratch.
As opposed to what everyone else does?
Traditional budgeting takes last year's number and adds 3%. Nobody asks whether last year's number made sense. You just inherit it, like a haunted house, with the ghost still paying rent.
So zero-based just means you rebuild the whole thing annually. That sounds exhausting.
It is, and that's the first honest thing anyone should say about it. You're not tweaking a spreadsheet, you're relitigating every dollar. The manager who spent $2 million on software last year has to walk in and defend $2 million from a blank page.
And in theory, that kills waste.
In theory. In practice, it kills the waste nobody's watching. The zombie subscriptions, the duplicate tools, the "we've always done it this way" spend. 3G Capital made it famous when they bought Kraft Heinz in 2015. They stripped out billions.
Kraft Heinz isn't exactly a success story you want to lead with.
No, and that's the whole lesson. They cut so hard they starved marketing and product development. By 2019, they took a $15 billion write-down. The budgeting method worked exactly as designed, and that was the problem.
Explain that. How does a tool working as designed destroy $15 billion?
Because zero-based budgeting is agnostic about the future. It asks, can you justify this cost today? Not, will this cost build something in 3 years? R&D and brand spending never justify themselves in the current quarter. The payoff is distant, so they get cut first.
So it's a scalpel that can't tell a tumor from a kidney.
That's exactly it. Point it at overhead, travel, office supplies, redundant vendors. And it's surgical. Point it at growth investments, and it does real damage while looking disciplined the whole way.
Then who should actually use this in 2026?
Companies with bloated, undermanaged cost structures who've stopped asking questions. Unilever ran a version of it and reported saving around 2 billion euros in overhead. Though remember, those savings numbers come from the company doing the cutting, so I'd take the precise figure with salt.
Why the skepticism on their own numbers?
Because savings from a budgeting exercise are always measured against a baseline you also control. If I decide last year's spend was 100 and this year's is 80, I've saved 20, but only if 100 was ever the right number. It's marking your own homework.
So how does a smart CFO get the upside without the Kraft Heinz disaster?
You apply it selectively. Zero-base the discretionary overhead, the stuff with no strategic payoff, and leave the growth budget on a different track entirely. Some people call this zero-based, applied to categories not the whole company.
Doesn't that defeat the purity of it?
The purity is the trap. The mistake companies make is treating it as a religion instead of a tool. You don't rebuild your entire budget from zero every single year. That costs more in management hours than it saves.
So what's the right cadence?
Deep zero-based review on a rolling basis. One big cost category a year, maybe every function every 3 years. You get the discipline without burning your finance team out every 12 months on a ritual.
Give me the tell. How do I know my organization needs this?
Ask your team a simple question. Why do we spend this? If the answer is because we spent it last year, you have a zero-based budgeting problem. If the answer is a coherent strategy, leave it alone.
One thing my listeners can do Monday morning.
Pull your 5 largest recurring costs and ask each owner to justify them from zero. Not defend an increase, justify the whole amount. You'll find the waste in about an hour, and you won't have to reorganize the entire company to do it.
That's your 5. The full CFO track, structured, no fluff, is at mba-training.com.